Light heavyweight bout here. Dustin Jacoby sitting at minus 158. Azamat Murzakanov plus 158. Over under 2.5 rounds plus 110 for the over, minus 110 for the under. The undefeated Azamat Murzakanov taking on Dustin Jacoby, who we may thought of got robbed in his last fight against Khalil Roundtree. Put on a good amount of volume in that one. Landed 120 significant strikes over 3 rounds, lost a split decision. But before that was on a 4-fight win streak and then had a draw against Iwan Kutalaba and then won 3 more fights before that. So he's 7-1-1 in his second stint in the UFC. So some pretty good momentum there, except for that last loss, which I think he's going to come back a little pissed off and wanted to get a win in this one. Murzakanov got the knockout win in the 3rd round against Devin Clark his last time out, and then a 3rd-round knockout against Tafon Chukwi. 5'10", though, 71-inch reach, southpaw, Russian. I mean, he's a standing fighter mainly. He's going to look to kickbox you. He's not really going to mix in any takedowns. He's only averaging 0.6 per 15 minutes, so I don't really expect that to happen in this fight. It's probably going to be a standing kickboxing match. And Dustin Jacoby's got a lot of experience in the kickboxing world. He has fought Alex Pereira, did get KO'd by him in 2014, but he's got a lot of kickboxing experience on his record. And since he's come back from that kickboxing, he's only looked really good in the UFC with the MMA gloves. So I think Dustin Jacoby can put on a little bit of a pace here. Rack up the volume, stay at range is going to be much bigger. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage, and I think he can get it done probably by decision. I see him coming in with a smart game plan and trying to avoid that left hand of Murzakanov because he is a southpaw, and that power left hand is something that you don't want to mess around with. So I could see him chipping away at the legs, sticking the jab out there, and just racking up the points. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does clip him a couple times and be a little bit aggressive because he's coming off that loss that don't think he should have gotten. So I'll take Jacoby. What do you think?
Yeah, no, and you know I'm going to be biased in this because
Jacoby's
boy. One of my favorite fighters. But, man, he's got to stay away from that left hand, and I think he will. If you look at Murzakanov's 3 fights in the UFC, or 1 in Dana White's Contender Series and 2 in the UFC. He's won them all by knockout. It's all guys that are similar to his size and height, and he's been able to find that reach or that distance. But, I mean, Jacoby, he's not just 6'3", but he's long, too. I mean, long legs, long arms, and he is a pure kickboxer, so he knows how to gauge that distance. He's good with his kicks. He's good at that front kick to kind of keep you off of him. And he'll triple up that jab too. I mean, he'll jab you all night long just to keep you honest and keep you at the distance that he wants to. He does a lot of hand fighting too, which I think just frustrates his opponents. I see him getting to Murzakanov as the fight goes on, just with the volume and just those peppering shots alone. I mean, Jacoby's got KO power, but he doesn't just unleash shots and take risks. I mean, he's super calculated when he fights. I mean, it's like almost like he's playing chess with his striking in there. But coming off of the loss that he believes he won against Roundtree, a lot of people think he won as well. I mean, I think it was a close fight. But he's going to be pissed off, and he's going to look to make a statement. I mean, I think he learned in that last one, you know, I'm a kickboxer. I'm a better striker than all these guys I'm fighting. I need to go out there and just start putting people away because I don't want it to go to the judges' scorecards and get screwed over again like that. He's going to be in Kansas City, 3 hours away from where he grew up. All of us are going to be there. Everybody who knows Dustin and his family are going to be traveling for the fights there. It's basically a home field advantage for him. I think that's going to play into his motivation and drive to get the win here. And this is a huge step up for Murzakanov, in my opinion. I mean, Jacoby doesn't have, you know, he had 1 stint in the UFC back in 2012, lost a couple of fights, worked his way back, and he's kind of been on a tear. So I think he gets it done. He's just got to stay away from that left hand.
If there's anything that you can get behind for Murzakanov, he is a southpaw, and Khalil Roundtree is a southpaw. So he just lost to a southpaw, and he's getting another one here, so maybe he can right his wrong there as well.